welcome to an exclusive interview special on...
Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm coming to you all live from Cuba, where it has been suspected that the Soviet Union is attempting to build nuclear bases. The reasoning and purpose behind the bases are currently unknown. All that is certain is that when the Soviet Union decides to build and place nuclear weapons at these bases, it will only be a matter of time before the missiles are launched. Once those missiles are launched, life as we know it will be no more. Let's take it back to Johnlyne Faucher in our studio.
This truly is an atrocity waiting to happen. Let's head to Washington, D.C. with Nataly Diaz has an exclusive interview with President JFK. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all mine. Now, Mr. President, there's been a lot of speculation of nuclear bases in Cuba. Is this correct?
Unfortunately, yes it is.
Would you want to maybe elaborate on that story a little bit?
I'm not going to go into many details. Basically, I'm going to say what I know. I have been informed that nuclear bases are being built in Cuba. We know this information because pictures have been taken from planes to show that. We have no reason to believe that the construction of these bases have advanced much. It is clear that our longtime rival, the Soviet Union, is behind these nuclear bases. We will get to the bottom of everything, and I assure you that no harm will come to the U.S.
Mr. President, do you, your team, and the United States military have a plan of action to keep everything under control?
First and foremost, I would like to assure all of America that various actions have been taken, and my team and I will not allow any harm to occur. As for our plan of action to control the Soviets and their Cuban missiles, we need to halt this offensive buildup. A strict quarantine on all offensive military equipment under shipment to Cuba is being initiated. All ships of any kind bound for Cuba, from whatever nation or port, will, if found to contain cargoes of offensive weapons, been turned back. This quarantine will be extended, if needed, to other types of cargo carriers. We are not at this time, however, denying the necessities of life as the Soviets attempted to do their Berlin blockade of 1948.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Inspiring words from our president. Now that we have heard what our leader has to say, let's head to an unknown location where our news correspondent, Johnlyne Faucher, has the latest story with the Soviet Union's
In
leader.
an unknown location to speak with the leader of the Soviet Union, Mr. Nataly Diaz. Mr. Khrushchev, thank you for having me.
Ask quickly. I have no time for your ignorant American fools.
Okay. So, Mr. Khrushchev, what purpose are you intending for these missiles to have?
Let me simplify this for you, incompetent America. Your government has its own bases in Turkey to attack us whenever your so-called resident pleases. As a smart, powerful, and expanding nation, the Soviet Union is not going to sit quietly and wait for the United States to attack us. No. We are always prepared, and if war is what the U.S. wants, then war is what we'll get, because we are ready.
Is this a declaration of war?
Take it as you wish. War, no war, I don't care. If you weigh the present situation with a cool head, without giving way to passion, you will understand that the Soviet Union cannot afford not to decline the despotic demands of the USA, and that the Soviet Union views the blockade as an act of aggression, and their ships will be instructed to ignore it.
Mr. Khrushchev, what are your opinions on the statement that Mr. Kennedy addressed to the public today?
I have no time to listen to that pitiful human being. Speaking of time, you've already wasted mine, so I'm done.
Well, okay then. Thank you so much for your kind words. Back to you. As of right now, we've heard from President Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev. Who we haven't heard from, Fidel Castro. He's a dictator of Cuba, and our newscaster, Nataly Diaz, has decided to go to Cuba and find out why Castro is attempting to assist the Soviet Union.
Nunca sé a quién
United States has bases in Turkey. So when the Soviet Union contacted me when allowing them to build bases here, I decided that I could benefit Cuba. The United States has invaded Cuba and other Latin American countries before, so why should I wait for this to happen again? With Soviet troops here, it will protect us from the U.S. invading us again. Also, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The United States is my enemy, and the Soviet Union is the U.S. is an enemy. Thus, the Soviet Union is also my friend.
Eso será todo por hoy, señor Castro. Agradezco su tiempo, bondad y humildad. Espero tener el placer de estar contigo otra vez.
Igualmente.
Now that our interviews have been concluded, let's just take a look at a few pictures of what could have been a major disaster.
In October 1962, an American U-2 spy plane took pictures of the Soviet Union building nuclear bases in Cuba. Before releasing any information to the public, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy decided to meet with his team to plan what was to come. Although there was much talk about war, Mr. Kennedy decided on a more peaceful alternative. U.S. ships were going to be placed around Cuba, blocking anything from coming in and out. The purpose of this was so that if any nuclear materials were found, they could be destroyed or removed immediately. After much deliberation, both leaders, President Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev, decided that a nuclear war would be devastating for both nations. Thus, the Soviet Union agreed to dismantle the weapon site in exchange for a pledge from the United States to not invade Cuba. President Kennedy stated, "For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit the same planet, we all breathe the same air, we all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal." He wanted to say that if this went to war, it would not benefit anybody. Even though this meant the end of the missile crisis, it did not mean the end of the rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States.
For today, join us again tomorrow on Channel 23 at 3 p.m. on Are You Freaking Kidding Me? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacob, and welcome to an exclusive interview special on
Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm coming to you all live from Cuba, where it has been suspended.
Are you kidding me?
So, Mr. Khrushchev, what purpose are you intending for these missiles to have?
Let me simplify this for you, incompetent American. Your government has its own bases in Turkey to attack. I messed up, I said attack.
Also, the enemy of my friend.
Hey, Jacob, this is truly an atrocity waiting to happen. Let's head to Washington, D.C., where Nataly Diaz has an exclusive interview with President himself, Mr. John Fitzgerald.
Okay, wait, can you say something?